In October 2023, we set another camera at the Coyote Den in Sierra Valley. We were pleased with the results 2 years ago, especially the social dynamics during estrus and maternal care, but we knew we hadn't seen everything. So we strapped our camera to the same cottonwood tree, and with a little teamwork, we managed to place the old familiar burrow in the center of the picture. Of course, we had great expectations, and during the next 7 months, this little window of nature revealed some bewildering events. That fall and winter, members of the pack periodically passed through, but the den was a special point of interest to the breeding pair of resident coyotes. And this young adult female, who was probably their daughter. She deferred to her parents, but she had an issue with the nosy magpies who followed them around. Sometimes these animals examined the old burrow more closely. To us, it looked deserted, but the coyote's nose probably told a more interesting story. One evening, a bobcat detected a wee sleekit timorous mousie busy in the entrance to the den. He fixated on the intended snack. And then, he pounced as soon as the mouse exposed itself. Bobcat was stoic about the loss and paused for a brief moment of reflection, then pussyfooted into the shadows. Later that evening, a few coyotes made an appearance. This one seemed to pick up the bobcat's scent, which ushered it right to the den's entrance. Something about this situation energized a yodel fest. Was it just a reaction to the provocative smell of that bobcat? Or did this clever coyote just piece together the clues about Bobcat's recent embarrassment? 3 weeks later, the daughter entered the den through the rear burrow, which was partially hidden from our camera. Her mother was clearly in the family way. 11 days later, Mom looked even bigger. That night, the male spoke to the burrow, and the camera caught the female's eyeshine inside her underground chamber. She had apparently given birth. This was confirmed 4 days later, when the now deflated mom was recorded slow walking to the den's rear entrance. Now there was a new routine. When the male announced himself, Mom would leave the chamber to meet him in the rear. When he briskly departed, we assumed he had dropped off a snack. This routine continued for 2 weeks. On this night, though, when the pups would have been about 18 days old, the mother failed to meet the male or take his food delivery. Something was wrong. He loitered near the den and whined. 14 minutes later, he appeared with another item of prey. He dug out the window a bit and placed it inside. Then he flipped leaves over it with his snout. Was he storing the food this way in case she came back? Father and daughter continued to search the den almost daily, but they rarely whined at the burrow, and we hadn't seen the mother's eyeshine there for 2 weeks. But sometimes we could see vague movements of the pups within the den's window into the chamber. The pups were probably dead when the male upchucked this unidentifiable item of prey. It seems that he was still waiting for his mate. A 3-legged coyote stopped at the den a week and a half later. It seemed to know the den and even dug into the den's window with its one good leg. Was this the mother who disappeared? If so, it would explain a lot. But we're not sure about that, and the abandoned litter remains a mystery.